Hello, hello, hey sweet people, welcome to another episode of Inglês no Rádio. My name is Foster, coming to you live from rainy, cold, very rainy Portugal. As always, I am here with...
Alexia. Hi.
How are you doing today, Alexia?
I'm doing great. It's not that cold today. The rain helps with the cold weather. Sorry.
Do you want to say that the rain makes it feel even colder?
No, it's the opposite. Every time that it rains, it's not that cold.
Yeah, but my problem is it's the rain. If it's just cold, that's cool with me. Put on a jacket, still go outside. If it's pretty cold and also raining.
But I'm not saying that it's better. I'm just showing a fact.
Yeah, looking on the bright side, as we say in English. Okay, Alexia, before we get started today, I think we need to send a very important message to all of our listeners.
Uh-huh.
It's Felipe's birthday.
Yes, it's Felipe's birthday.
Felipe Arcado, he is the man behind Inglês no Cru that makes all of this magic happen. He is the one editing this episode. So, Felipe, you are not allowed to cut this part.
Yes,
That
that's
is an
very true.
order from your bosses.
And any complaints about the editing, please send him an email. We don't have anything to do with that.
Yeah, but not today because it's Felipe's birthday. Happy birthday, Felipe. You are very, very special. And he's turning 29 years old.
Yeah, already?
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you remember what you were doing when you were 29?
Yeah, I was super afraid of turning 30 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. Same. Okay. Anyways, happy birthday, Felipe. Happy weekday, sweet people. Let's get on with the show. So this week we are talking about pronunciation, and more specifically, we are trying to clean up some aspects of Alexia's pronunciation, just some small things that we've never really taken the time to focus on. And in the last couple of episodes, I really made you suffer a lot. So today I wanted to make it a little bit more fun.
Yeah, but still suffering.
It is suffering with the illusion of fun. Yeah. Does that sound okay to you?
Yeah, I don't have a choice, but that's fine.
You always have a choice. We can have a discussion about free will and determination in another podcast. So today, Alexia, I wanted to talk about pronunciation using the vehicle of dog commands. So First, can you explain to me and our listeners, what is a dog command?
It's a dog trick, right? So you say the command, o comando, and then the dog, the animal, the pet, he's gonna do it.
Mas em português é comando. Okay, yeah, same thing. Just making sure everyone's on the same page. So I thought this would be interesting because these are very simple examples that really allow us to analyze and think about pronunciation more deeply. And I was noticing, okay, 3 people. You sometimes have issues with specific dog commands. Your dad has pronunciation issues with almost all of the dog commands, which is interesting because he speaks English quite well. And then our dog trainer, Hugo, who I believe speaks English quite well also, he works with this every day and he still has pronunciation issues with some very simple things.
Yeah, I think that each case is different.
Mm-hmm.
So Hugo's case is because, he's a dog trainer, but all the dogs are from Portugal, and we are the only ones, I think, that half of the commands are in English and the other half is in Portuguese. And, he's not used to, say it in English.
Yeah, and also because he is Portuguese, he has different pronunciation mistakes. He comes from a different linguistic background than Brazilians.
Yeah. With my dad, I think it's the case of always trying to say it like in a cute way, like baby voice, and not always you should do that. And then instead of saying, for example, sit, but sit, he's like, sit.
Yeah, I think maybe that has something to do with it, but I also think there are some deeper questions of pronunciation in there as well.
And for me is mistake. It's clear and...
Yours is the smallest mistake.
Yeah.
But I like the example that you gave of your dad. I think that's a great place to start with the word sit.
Yeah.
Senta.
Uh-huh.
Sit. Okay, say it with me, Alexia. Sit.
Sit.
And can you guess what is the most common mistake that most Brazilians make?
Sit.
Yeah, more or less. So,
Oh, sit.
Sit. Yeah. That's what I hear your dad say a lot is sit. Sit. So, two things. First, this is the I sound. So this is a sound that really does not exist in Brazilian Portuguese. So we are not saying E. We're not saying E mais alguma coisa. We are saying I. So try that with me, Alexia. Say I.
I.
Very good. Now try saying seat, like take a seat. And then sit, like sit down. Seat, sit.
Sit, seat.
Okay, backwards.
Tá.
Seat,
Seat,
sit.
sit.
Heat,
Heat,
hit.
hit.
Beat,
Beat,
bit.
bit.
Perfect.
So the difference between seat and sit, seat is like, oh, our seats are on the front row, right? Os nossos lugares, as nossas cadeiras, onde devemos sentar, é na primeira fila.
Yes.
And then, oh, we can sit down there. Nós podemos nos sentar ali.
Yes.
So it's the act of
Yes.
sitting down.
Correct. Normally, seat, we are using that as a noun. Like, hey, can you show me where my seat is? And then sit, we normally use that as a verb, and most of the time as a phrasal verb, like sit down.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that is the first difficulty that a lot of Brazilians have. Also, in your dad's case, saying sich. So adding that extra chi,
TH. Yeah.
chi sound. Do you remember how we call this in linguistics? É uma vogal de...
Apoio?
Exatamente, meu amor. Muito bem. It is what we call a supporting vowel, ou uma vogal de apoio. And that is just referring to the very strong tendency that you cute Brazilians have to add a chi to the end of everything.
Facebook key. That's it.
Yeah. So think about the last sound in sit. If I say, buddy, sit, what is the last sound?
T.
Exactly. T. Just a T sound.
Yeah.
The same sound as table, time. T. T. So there is no ch, like Thiago. That does not exist in this word. So the word sit is composed of 3 individual sounds. The first sound, s.
S.
The second sound, I.
I.
And the last sound, t.
T.
S, I, t.
S. T.
Sit.
Sit.
Exactly. So 3 letters can be quite complicated, but I know this seems like a very specific.
What? Like a snake.
I was tongue-tied for a second. It seems like a very specific example, but this is something that expands to all of your English. For example, well, on one hand, this sound is very, very obvious to native speakers. So if you say, I want to sit down, that sounds, most Americans will think that that sounds Hispanic. Like they relate that to Mexican English, which has a lot of cultural and political baggage. But on the other hand, there are many cases where you are actually pronouncing the incorrect word. So if you say...
Yeah, either way, you are pronouncing it not incorrectly. Incorrectly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's make it work. Let's correct that.
Yeah, and I would say that at least 80-90% of Brazilians have a really hard time with this sound. So when I meet a Brazilian that pronounces the sound correctly, immediately I'm like, wow, this person's English is really good. They are in a different level.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that takes time to get automatic and supernatural, but if you do it, I promise it's worth it.
Yeah, and we are talking about documents, but think about how this will contribute for the rest of the words. For example, it.
Exactly.
I mean, we use it in every single phrase, I think.
Yes, and the supporting vowel, vogal de apoio, I like it.
Yeah.
If you have issues with these two aspects of English pronunciation, you will say, I like each. I like each.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I hear I like each so many times from Brazilians, and I'm thinking, I understand that because I've heard the mistake millions of times, but the average native speaker will literally think you're speaking a different language.
Yeah.
So this is how pronunciation works. You start with the small specific examples, and then they naturally incorporate into your conversation.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So Alexia, I was planning on talking about a lot of different dog commands, but I think I got carried away. So if you're interested in all of this pronunciation nonsense, it's not nonsense. It is beautiful and super important. You can sign up for our pronunciation and conversation course, Sound School. It's open this week. Today is January 25th, 2021. 26th. It's Felipe's birthday. We're only accepting 15 new students because we work with all of our students individually. If you want to learn more about Sound School, go to inglesnoicru.com. And we will continue talking about dog commands and pronunciation mañana.
Okie dokie. Bye.
Hasta luego.